I feel like I can't hear you, Jen. I don't know if it's me.
Okay, hang on.
There you
How's
go.
that?
I can hear you now.
You know what it is I was trying to turn the mic down because I can hear so loudly in my own ears. And I was like, yeah, this is awkward. I can hear myself. Hello, everybody. Hello, Lily. Hello, Alex. Thank you for being here. Diane, thank you for joining us tonight. So tonight's a fun night. We are going to be clearing energy. We're going to be talking about how to clear energy, how we clear energy. And then we're going to pull some cards for the new year. Hey, Katie. How's it going? So my internet is a little bit shoddy right now. We have a winter storm that has come in and it's snowing. So you guys, I apologize in advance if we end up losing us here and there, but I have my other internet set up and ready to go if needs be, but it was kind of glitching everywhere. So welcome. And how are you today, Jenny? What's happening? What's new?
I'm good. I had a good day today. I went. Have you ever had a float in the float tank?
Oh my God.
So I went and had one of those today. It was a little traumatic at the end. I don't know if anyone's ever gone for a float, but I generally don't listen to music in it. Like I like just the 100% deprivation, no sound, no lights, no nothing. And they ended up putting music on for me during the thing. And I was like, whatever, right? But usually at the end of your float, it's like an hour and a half, the music plays. But there was like no, the music just played the whole time. And I don't know if you've ever been. So
I have. I used to float every week.
But at the end, I got woken up by the cleaner. You know how like jets go on and then it sanitizes the machine. I was like, oh my God. I jumped out of the thing and it was so freaky. And I like had a small panic attack. And I was like,
I think I would have a panic attack too. I'd be like, just
yeah.
happened.
But on a positive note, they're like, sorry about that. And I got it for free. So.
Well, that is a positive note. Hey, Stone, welcome to the show.
But that's what I did today.
Oh, well, you know what? My last float, well, Princess, don't come for me on this one, but it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But I used to go weekly. Like it was my jam weekly.
It's so good. And it is just so good.
I don't know about you, but I don't mind like no sound, nothing, but the chiropractic cracking that would happen. Now, I don't like the sound of cracking bones to begin with. So that is actually what took me the most amount to get used to, because all of a sudden my spine would start cracking. It felt amazing. Do not get me wrong. I was like, pop, 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 pop. I'm like, oh God. And you're underwater, so you can hear it 10 times more. And it's like, should I get up now? Can I move? Do my fingers work? I'm wiggling my toes.
I don't think that's ever happened to me.
Every single time that happened to me, it was like the wildest thing. It was just, so funny.
I love
but it. I think that was probably when my third eye really began. Like as a kid, I shut my third eye off.
Mm-hmm.
Because seeing spirits and dead people around your bed and hundreds of them when you're like 3 or 4 years old is not like the most like, hey, let's have a party. It was more like scream for the hills and see what happened next. My parents would come in and they would see nothing. I'd be like, you're standing on an old lady, right on her, and she's in my room. And my dad'd be like, okay. So I would sneak, once they fell asleep again, I would sneak back into my parents' room and sleep on my mom's side on the floor so I wouldn't wake them up. But at least there, I don't know why in their room, I believed it was quiet. But in the tanks, it was probably when I really started to notice that my third eye was beginning to not listen to the barriers and the blocks that I put up and started to open up, because it was like a light show in the tank every time. Yeah. I was like,
it's amazing, right? Yeah, I get pretty deep into the channeling and journeys in the tank too.
So yeah, it was the beginning of my new life, the end of my old life, because that really began to solidify that where I was in life was not where I was meant to be. And so it really started the transition. So it might even be longer than 6 years now that I think about that. Like I went a couple times when I was doing it consistently, but yeah, prior to that, it was definitely the beginning of the end, which wasn't a bad thing, but it was a good thing.
No, yes.
So, Maybe I'll have to go for a float soon.
You definitely will. I went to the Salt Wellness in Surrey there.
Oh, it's exactly where I used to go. Join you, Brian, with a gift. Oh, I think we all have it. I think that we all have it, but how we utilize it shifts based on our entire life. I think that we can all bring that forward, and that's actually one of my biggest, I think, goals is to help people find their gifts so that they can connect with them. I think lots is changing right now, so there's so much happening.
Changing, and I feel like people are more open to being open about their gifts and wanting to, because it's not really weird anymore. Now it's like cool, right? It's like cool it's that normal. You can do it. Yeah, exactly. And it just, yeah, it's amazing.
So this is totally off topic, but I don't know, you guys, have you guys found that you are dropping into like light warp speed space where you are like from conscious to unconscious in that space? When it feels like you get to that point and you drop in and you all of a sudden you like jolt because it feels like you're falling, but you're not really anywhere. Is anybody else experiencing this? Because this has been happening to me every day when I'm not trying. Like, this is not the like, hey, let's go on and meditate and go on a journey, but I'll close my eyes and be thinking about something. All of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm like, whoa, where'd I go? I'm gone. And it's like that flying off the cliff feeling. And I love it because I love that stomach feeling, but most people don't like it. You go roller coaster and you're like, woo, and that. But yeah, I've just noticed that in the last week, how crazy that has been for me, at least. How about you?
I have to say that I feel like that too. And I actually, in my float today, because if you haven't floated before, the water is the same temperature as the air. So you literally you feel like you're in outer space and you're just floating there. And today I had this thought, and it was like, when you're floating, it's like what your actual soul self feels like. Like, you don't have that human part about yourself. It's like you literally can't feel your body. And it's just like only in your mind. And then you can that's what I feel like that's what I was thinking today. Is like, you're just like out and you're like, oh my God, brings you back to who I really am. And then my body is just my vehicle, right? And then because I get so many of the angels, the guides, and all that communicating with me throughout my whole thing. And I'm just getting like so many messages. And I kept having those moments of like, whoa. And then I would wake up and be like, holy shit, that was crazy. And then I like drift off. And then I'm like, whoa, holy shit, that was crazy. And then I get woken up by the jets. Maybe I was going really far.
Well, it's funny. I've been noticing that like the jolt back in, and it's because I'm not trying. Like, it's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of downloads happening, guys. So
totally.
Be prepared.
I have to agree. Like, in the last, like, I always know, because before, I don't know if you feel the same, but before I get like huge upgrades, I have like a down. Like last show we had, I was just kind of like blah, and then like the last few days, it's just like download. And I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, feel already like I've totally upgraded into a different version of myself than even the last episode.
I'm excited for this version of you, because you're already pretty freaking amazing. Like, I've noticed that with the groups, the Tuesday nights that we've been doing, those classes have really taken a different turn, where it's all about, like, we did light code downloads on the last Tuesday night, and I noticed that I was receiving downloads while the class was being channeled, and it was really interesting, because I've for about 2 weeks really felt that like draw to like invite light codes in to help with all areas of my life and really allow like making space for them. So, and totally. I think that's part of what is coming for 2023. Yeah. And I don't ever give predictions, but my feeling is that there's going to be a lot of change happening in the first part into spring 2023, and it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
No, good.
But it's now time
like full body chills.
It's time to clear it out, guys. It's time to get into, I don't know, like about a month ago, I got this message that it's time to get rid of the baggage that prevents us from being more integrated with our light bodies while on this physical plane. So taking that time, and whether it's 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, doesn't matter, 10 hours, it's about making that time. to welcome in the light codes that can help elevate your vibration, your frequency, your energy space that connects with your physical body. So be prepared for the next couple of shows, all about making it happen, people. So what do we got going? Yeah, it's right. It's insane these days right now. I know we're coming a new year, but it's definitely a time. I think we're in this energetic space. So
yeah, I did not sleep last night either. I think I was up till like 1, 2 o'clock, and that's pretty unusual for me.
Last night was the first night I slept in a week. It was like, oh, it's quiet. But no, I've been like waking up and like in different spaces too. Like traveling, a lot of astral traveling right now. It's been really intense that way.
Yeah, it's so fun though.
Yeah, it's just hard to come back. So tonight we're talking energy clearing. So what is, I don't know, I'm curious, what's one of your rituals? What do you do to clear space for yourself and to clear your energy and to kind of make room for these new downloads, these new versions of yourself that are ready to integrate into the physical reality?
When you say that, is what came up for me is, I think I talked about it on another episode too, is like you get to that point when you're just like, I'm done. And I feel like that is the point that you're going to start receiving whatever you need to in that moment. And then until then, I feel like you're walking around in the same level of Jenny, right? And then you're like, okay, I'm done with this level. Like I'm ready for more. And then I think to myself, okay, what do I want my life to look like right now or in the future? And I'm like, what is stopping me from getting right there right now? Is it fear? Is it lack of follow through? Whatever it is for you or yourself, right? And then I'm like, always think, okay, what can I do now to get there? And then that's when I start receiving like the downloads, the activations, and it's just the asking for help. Like, how can I get there? I'm ready, I'm willing, and I'm able, and I'm really done with doing the things that are not getting me to where I want to go. And then you just literally start to receive. And even in my float today, like I can't remember half of it because it ends up being almost like a dream. But I just was download. Holy shit. That like aha moments that are just like, I have to tell you one because it kind of pertains to moving forward and how I clear my energy. So I'm starting my business, and as a neurospicy person, I really need like someone to help navigate and be like that person that shows me what to do first. Cause I have a hard time doing things first. Like I always have to see people do it or have a 1, 2, 3. This is how you do it. Because like there's so many thoughts in my head that I don't really know how to squish it down to execute what I want to do. So I was like, it's so frustrating. And I actually, in my meditation today, I was channeling and talking to my guides and stuff. They're like, you don't need, well, I'm having like that dizzy thing you were just talking about. Wow, that's crazy. They're like, you don't need someone else to tell you what to do because we're here, we're guiding you. All you have to do is come back to yourself, tap in, and we're here. We're literally using you as our channel to help raise the vibration of people around you. Right. So it's like all I had to do was freaking ask, like, how do I step into that next chapter myself? And I'm literally feeling emotional. Like I feel like there's like it's so like I'm 100% channeled right now. Like holy crap. Like, but it was like, wow, all this whole time I'm looking like, what can I do? Looking for someone else to help me navigate my way through really flourishing in my business. But all I had to do was check back in with myself. I had to ask for help and use my guides that are wanting to use me to grow my business. That's how I'm growing my business because I stepped into and tapped into them in the first place. Mm-hmm. Right. So it's like, it all comes back to us and being open for that support from our team and on the spirit side. So that's what I do.
She is amazing. I agree, Katie. So when you got that message that you had to step back into yourself, what does that feel like for you?
Well, you just seen it again. It's like so empowering. Like, not that I was giving my power away, but I was waiting for someone to tell me this is X, Y, and Z what you have to do. But I had that all inside of me already. All I had to do was ask. I channel all day anyway, so why wouldn't I channel my business? Why wouldn't I channel what they want me to post? Why wouldn't I channel how they want me to show up and use them to guide me? Like, that was their intentions. So it's just like crazy. Like, that was there the whole time. And it's just like, wow.
It's going to be explosive.
It is. And each time I feel that, the fear or the lack of confidence of, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, girl, you do. You just have to sit there and be the channel. And I feel like as light workers, healers, coaches, like that's what we're here to do. And yes, I have my own message from my journey along the way, but they're also helping me to get it out and to share out. And that was in my float today. So
that was your float. I like your floats.
Yeah.
That was pretty intense, but pretty amazing. I like that though. What can I do to get together? Like you said that question, and I often, I mean, I don't ask it that in that specific sentence, but I usually like get to a point where I'm like, okay, guys, just take over. Mm-hmm. I'm done. I'm done fighting. I'm done trying to be the guy in charge here. So just let me, heal what you need to heal at a cellular level, download what you need to download so that I can move forward. And that is probably one of the things, like during my healing journey, was asking the light workers and the light beings of the highest vibration, frequency, and energy and of the highest origin to help me while I was sleeping. And that really made a lot of difference. And I did it for weeks upon weeks, and started to really notice a difference in my overall health and well-being, but also my connection. It was like they were repairing it when I'm the one who, created the disrepair for sure, 100%. And to kind of speed up the process. Because I don't know about you guys, but everybody's healing journey isn't always an overnight thing. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it is an adventure that has a heartbeat.
Adventure, yes.
And mine has been an adventure.
Same.
And it hasn't been like, and I think people can have snap revelations and snap, moments where it's like they're here and all of a sudden they're way over here. And I truly believe that is where we're going, where it will be snap 180 turns. But, for some of us like myself who seem to have decided when I was younger that I was going to have to learn everything the hard way and had to learn to deprogram that, I went through a lot of struggles, and it wasn't always easy and it wasn't fun, but I got to a point where I'd just be like, hey guys, I'm going to go to sleep now. So do what you got to do. Like, make it happen. And I would wake up feeling different. So for those of you who don't have the time, and I say this because our lives can get very hectic. Sometimes we don't have time in our waking space to create room, to release old energies, old programs, or belief systems at the cellular level, at the, at the core of where you are at. So doing it while you sleep is something that can be done. And it can be simply inviting your guides, your guardians, light beings, whomever you feel comfortable working with, really and truly, that brings you light and love, giving them permission while you sleep to help you make those shifts, to clear out the chakras, the, meridian points, the acupuncture points, the ethereal spheres and realms of ourselves and layers of ourselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically. So creating space can be done in so many ways. Now, that's one way I do it. How else do you clear space for yourself?
I do, like, if you're talking about like Palo Santo and stuff, like just the general clearing, I find energetically you can hold a lot of emotions that aren't even yours. So I love using Palo Santo, and I can't believe, like, how much it actually works. It's a 10 out of 10 for me on that one.
Palo Santo's burning in the background right now.
It's crazy. And I'm telling you, if you ever are feeling like junky lunky and you're like, oh, I don't know what it is, and maybe you're around some people, and I feel like when you're around people whose energy isn't the greatest, it makes it harder for you to even what I want to say, like digest the energy, because it doesn't belong to you, but your body thinks it's yours, and it's like, what the heck's going on? And it's just really confusing for your body. So like maybe an emotion that would take like, I don't know, an hour to move through, and if it's not yours, it could take like 2 days. I don't know. So really, like, get some Palo Santo. I always say, please allow any thoughts, feelings, energy that are not mine. Just like let them go. Allow them to release back into Mother Earth. Let her transmute them into something beautiful, and just really cleansing my energetic body. I like to pull cards, journal. If there's a lot of info on my mind that I just can't get out, I write it out. And I do the same thing. Like my dog keeps barking and it's distracting me. He went into my daughter's room and ate all her Christmas candies, and I went downstairs and caught him, and he went out. I put him outside, and now he won't come in because he's like, oh my God, I'm in so much trouble. But now he's barking at the door. So I'm going to go try to get him because he's going to bark and distract me.
All right. So another way I clear, and this is kind of one of my fun ones, and Maureen, all of you know Maureen, she is the Reiki Master that I took my Reiki Master training with, and turns out, we knew each other, our families knew each other, so it was kind of one of those things that divine timing and synchronicities brought us together, and we have been fast friends since. But I do want to answer this question, Lily Flowers. Yes, you can't. I do believe, like, one of the things with hypnosis is that you can connect with the part of you that's creating the menopause or the lack of sleep during menopause, and you can communicate with that part and shift that part so that it is possible to manage those symptoms. And I do know this from personal experience because I did have to get my tubes tied once upon a time when I was much younger, and it did start to create some premenopausal stuff. So it was a technique that I used, and so I'll do a different show on that. But you can connect with the parts of you, and there is a way to do that, and it's all through meditation, hypnosis, self-hypnosis, and you can lessen the impact of those symptoms. At least that has been my experience. So, but one of the clearing things that I do, and like I said, Mo and I we took the Reiki Master course together. I've known her for, I've known actually probably as long as I've known Jenny, lifetimes. And one of the things I do when I'm really out of sorts, when I'm really, really in a space where I'm not really sure what part of me is walking around in the high hill when I prefer to walk in flats, or which side of me, I place my hands over my chakras and I kind of meditate and breathe into that chakra. And I always think about the heart of that chakra. And then the heart of that chakra, I breathe that I breathe in white light into that space, and I breathe out the heavy energy. Mm-hmm. And I go through all of my chakras, and I spend like 2 minutes at each chakra or more. Sometimes I only go to one because that's where I'm drawn to, or where I feel I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this is in my solar plex and it's from blah, 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 blah. And I start getting the images. But that is the way I work is like the breath of life, where you combine it with the gratitude practice. This is another great practice when you only have 15 minutes, 14 minutes to kind of sit down, really maximize what you can do in that moment. So placing your hands, and sometimes they're on and sometimes they're hovering. So that is going to also be something to kind of feel out, where do I feel today? What is calling to me? And sometimes I start with hands on and I move to hands off, but getting into that space where, you just work your way up. And sometimes I work my way down depending on how I'm feeling. If I'm really ungrounded and unrooted, then I usually work my way from my crown down just to bring everything back into physical reality. If I'm feeling really slow and heavy or disconnected from my own channel, then I start from my root chakra and I go up. So and then you can spend the whole 14 minutes over one area, or wherever you feel drawn. So it's kind of one of these things that not only does it clear out your energy space, but your physical, mental, emotional, and energetic connection, but it also gets you kind of playing with that intuitive side of you, because as you're doing this, you're going to get sensations, whether you hear it, feel it, see it, know it, or all of the above, and what to do next. And maybe I was just thinking about this question that you brought up, Jenny. What can I do to get there? Maybe that's a question while doing this. I'm going to try that out while doing my chakra clearing practice. See what comes up. What comes up when I ask that question. And this might be
another good one's, where am I at and what do I need?
I definitely have used that one. But yes, really, Lily, I promise. I am. We'll talk about that on another show with the menopause thing, because I'm definitely, because of that tube time, going through stuff. And I noticed because I started crying more.
Oh, interesting.
That's how I knew I was starting the process.
I'll come watch that show because I want to get my tubes tied.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I would make that choice again, to be honest with you, for myself. No, just because of the hormonal thing, the side of it. I wasn't prepared for that, because at the time I did it, it was one of those things that had to be done. But so I wasn't prepared. So I didn't realize that it would kind of help me move along in that stage of life, until I noticed that I was crying at commercials. I'm like, why am I tearing up? What is happening with my eyes? And I was like, this isn't normal for me. Like, I don't think crying's a bad thing. I think crying's an amazing thing. And I do it. But like, movies were not one of the things that used to get me. And all of a sudden now I'm like, the little like twinkling tears are happening. And I'm like, oh, something's up. So that's how I called the doctor. I was like, something's going on. I cried at commercials. My poor doctor is a man, and he's new, and we haven't had like this. Yeah, we haven't had this rapport. My doctor I had my entire life, retired, and he set me up with this poor man who had no idea that it was me coming from. And he was like, I don't know how to answer that. I'm like, well, it's fine. Just tell me what's going on. So yeah, that was my life. But I did a lot of hypnosis around connecting with the parts that were preparatal, or for me, it was the sweats. You get the sweats. That was the big one for me. Like, as an athlete, I sweat more than most people. It runs in my family. It's genetic. There's no way to turn it off. So when this started, I was like, okay, no. I do not need to look like I am in a shower when it's -10 out.
I'm pretty sweaty myself.
I connected with that part, and I was like, what do you need to be less activated, to be less like a part of this? What you need to know about you, so that I can help you and we can shift your role in this whole process. So, and I just took the same parts therapy that we would do in hypnosis to connect with the different parts of you and kind of work through that magic. And so far, so good. But yeah, there's my quick girl story about crying at commercials. Now you guys all know my secret. I do cry at good commercials, or bad ones. Actually, sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what I'm crying at. But so tonight we were talking about clearing energy. So I have never actually done this live, in the sense of without, I've done it remotely, but I've never done it. I've never done it on a show. So I'm excited for this. So I thought I would guide everybody through a quick little meditation, or Jenny can, whichever works. And we'll just bring in that energy, and we will clear some energy, and then we can pull cards. Yeah, aren't we all in retrograde?
Gatorade? Just kidding.
Yeah,
I don't really know what any of the moon stuff. I want to know about the moon stuff.
Retrograde is reverse everything. Well, we're about to go into this whole place of Pluto is moving into Pisces. There's so much coming on the astrological space for the new year, which is going to be interesting, because that's going to be whether we take it and we are creative with ourselves, or we do the opposite. So all of you, we're going to do the creative side of things. We're going to create from a place of connection versus destruction. Yeah. And I've been saying that since I was 3 years old about humanity. So I am definitely in the happy place to help that change. But it's funny enough, when we do this, I had pulled this card, and I pulled it before because I wanted to know.
Beautiful.
And it's be the channel. So all of you who are joining with, when you're connecting and taking in this energy, it is about being open and receiving and giving yourself permission, but also setting the intention. So the energy that we're going to send is kind of a communal energy from the collective, the universe, pure unconditional loving energy, but that can be directed how you want it directed. So if you set your intentions, then that energy will go exactly where you need it to go and more. So I'm going to ask you all to go ahead and kind of grab that space, whether it's, wherever you are in this moment, as long as you're not working heavy machinery or driving. All of you driving, eyes open, not eyes closed. And I'm going to ask you to close your eyes down. And just take a couple deep breaths in. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Just 3 or 4 good deep breaths, and let your shoulders rest down. Let them sink deeper in and deeper down. Just take a moment to feel the movement of your breath from the rise and fall of your chest. As you breathe with ease, as you let go bit by bit, as you exhale, you release, releasing and letting go of any and all old, stagnant energy, programs, belief systems, ideas, speed bumps that no longer serve your greatest and highest soul purpose and mission. And as you breathe in, thinking about that intention and purpose of the energy that you are open and ready to receive. With every breath in, beginning to breathe in that energy, exhale, release. And when you're ready, Jenny and I are going to send that energy to you. Think about that intended energy flowing down through your crown, all the way down to the soles of your feet and beyond. Just feel yourself beginning to open, to create a channel, a connection that allows and gives yourself permission to receive that divine universal source energy. And as you breathe out, imagine breathing out that old, stagnant, heavy energy from any time or space, from any inner place that no longer serves your greatest and highest soul purpose, mission, experience, and self. Just allow yourself to notice how you notice the energy moving from your crown all the way down, 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 all the way in to every muscle, every nerve, every fiber, every layer, every part of your ethereal being, all the way down to the soles of your feet. Through your aura, cleansing, clearing, let yourself release from any life, past, present, or future. Any situation, conversation, experience that no longer serves your greatest and highest purpose. That no longer aligns with your highest vibration, frequency, and energy. That no longer aligns with your soul, light body. Breath by breath. Moment by moment, and beyond. And when you're ready, when you feel drawn and pulled to, take a moment to set an intention for 2023. Set an intention perhaps to release anything preventing you from reaching your goals for 2023. Let go. And perhaps giving yourself permission to draw in the light codes, the light energy that is going to help and support and guide you into your greatest space of creation, your greatest place of understanding, connection, and more that serves your greatest and highest purpose, soul mission, and experience. And notice how you notice that energy flowing through you, softly, gently, abundantly true, into every part of you, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically. And taking a couple deep breaths as you release and let go of any last traces of anything holding you back from stepping into your highest vibration, your highest energy, your highest frequency, 2023. As you release and set yourself free, bringing in all the energy, the light body, the light codes, the divine loving energy that is going to help support and guide you into your greatest and highest vibration, frequency, and energy space as you move into 2023. And a couple deep, deep breaths. And before you open your eyes, giving yourself permission to receive fully all of the energy, all of the light downloads, light body, universal source, and divine cosmic energy that is going to guide you into your greatest and highest purpose. Moment by moment, breath by breath, as you step into the new version of you, 2023 and beyond. And as you open your eyes, taking a moment of gratitude to celebrate that cosmic energy that is connected and guided through you, above you, below you, in front of you, behind you, beside you. Oh, there went the internet for a second. Thank you, guys. So one of the messages I was getting as I was, saying, guiding that was that we need to keep going forward in this space where we keep clearing and making more and more space for those light body codes to download, so that when we move into 2023 and all the things change, and it could be small changes, and small changes become big changes. So I know that a lot of us, I don't know about you guys, but I always hope for those big profound changes that knock me on the head. They're like, see, told you, can't miss it. That's not always how it works. So allowing yourself to be open to recognize those small, beautiful changes, because those small, beautiful changes, those big, beautiful leaps that you will have already made the leap without even recognizing it as a leap. So it won't be so intimidating. So that's one of the messages I got.
Totally. That's what I got too. Like I could literally see myself and like, when you get comfortable and you're just kind of, you want all these things in your life, but you're just sitting there on the couch, not really getting it right. Mm-hmm. And it's it's comfortable, it's coming, but it doesn't satisfy you. It doesn't feel good in your body to just do that. You feel like the lack. And to really get where you want to go, you have to do the work. You have to do the work. That's the spiritual work. You find your practices that you like and you have to do them. And I'm the more, like, I'm getting goosey. So someone really needs to hear this, including myself. We have to do the work. And yes, it's like a lot sometimes, but that's when we check in with ourselves. Like, is this helping me? Is it serving me, or is it not? Right. So like even too much spiritual work can be an overload.
Exhausting.
So you just have to feel what's right in your body. And if you're sitting there and you're not feeling, and there's that, like, I need to do something, I'm feeling stagnant, that's the time that you can get it.
And if you need a break, if you need a pause, sometimes those pauses, guys, are, for me, those pauses have been the greatest leaps, because themselves are not the leap, but it's what I discover in the pause.
Yeah.
That gets me going again. For this instance, like this last pause, I knew there was stuff. I knew there was stuff for like 6 months that there was stuff. And I didn't, necessarily recognize, because I wasn't ready, that those were the things from past lives and ancestral gags. Like, it was preventing me. I put those blocks there. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't an experience. I put them there. So the work can be in it. You have to find your flow. And when you find your flow will guide you. And that flow, it doesn't always look the same. Sometimes you go hard for a while, and then it's like, okay, time to take a break. But it also gives time for all the work that you've already done to integrate. And it's one thing about being, using hypnotherapy as my medium, one of the mediums that I use most frequently to help you guys get there. It takes time for that shift in that inner mind to become a physical shift. And so sometimes taking time to integrate and let it integrate also sets you up for the next stage of your experience and the next part of your journey. So, every part is important. And it's, as much as we want to get through things fast, and I appreciate that more than anybody else, because I can be the most impatient person in the world. Sometimes, I know I'm really bad. I am. Sometimes we need a little bit of space so that we have to end up doing less work, because it does filter out some of the little things that we didn't need to done, so we can get back at the big things and go through the big moments. So I don't know. And when you guys are clearing, you are not.
The work is hard.
It is slow. It's not always fast. Like, it took me 2 years. Which, when I look back at the amount of sessions I did for my eyesight, I could have done that in a month. I really could have. Like, honestly, people, I could have done the work in a month, but it wasn't meant to be done in a month. And I didn't realize that until the work was done. But when I went back through all those sessions, I was like, it wasn't really that many sessions. I could have really, but maybe it wouldn't have worked out the same way. So that's the other thing, right? So, are you ready to pull some cards?
I am. I got a new deck of cards.
Woo! What do we got?
And they're angel therapy cards.
Ooh,
Parker, and I thought, look, it looks like healing and clearing, right? Parker actually got them for me. My 7-year-old daughter got them for me for Christmas.
Well, then they are magnificent.
Yeah. At her school, they do like people donate stuff, and then they do shopping. So this is what she bought me. She's like, oh, that's my mom loves cards. Yeah. Aren't they? And they're just gold.
How come we didn't have that at school? I would have loved that. That would have been like totally up my alley. I would have run away from the cards personally at that time, but would have been still pretty cool.
So I feel like the cards that I'm going to pull today, it's calling me to say these are things that we're going to let go of in 2022.
Ooh, I like this.
And then we're going to like really focus on the growth in 2023. So like, if anyone wants an individual card, but I'll pull like just like a card that, what are they called? The
collective. All right. And if you guys want individual cards, just give us a little comment. And anybody on TikTok who's joining us, jump over to YouTube, The Journey with Jen Snow, and put your name in if you want a card pulled for you tonight. So what do you need? What does the collective need to release in 2022? This is a big question. I've been thinking about.
And okay, so mine says indigo. The person you're inquiring about is an indigo, meaning a highly sensitive, natural born leader. And I feel like as soon as I said that, it brought me back to my float today about how I was looking for other people to help me when we all have it within our own selves. Like this.
The warriors, the indigo children, right? Those who come in that phase.
Yeah. Especially if you're watching this show and a part of Jen's audience and the subscriber.
Our audience? Hang on. I mean? No. We're recapping this.
Our audience
here, like, people.
This
Jenny
is in you already. This is like you're watching this for a reason. And you're awakening and you're coming to yourself. And even though I've been doing this for a while now, and the fact that I just realized, it is all in me. I already knew that, but it's just that epiphany when it changes for me. Like people can tell you all day, clear energy with Palo Santo. You have the power to channel at all times, but until you do it and you make that connection to yourself, that's when shit changes. So once you find that you are the inner guru for your own self, that is when shit's gonna change. And I have goosies from that one. So
I like that. Well, I'm going to follow that up with notice the pattern. So these are the things, the blocks, the speed bumps, the old version of ourselves that are the patterns that we get stuck in. So this is life, guys. Sit back and sit with yourself and ask. And I mean, consciously complete. So, these go together in my opinion. So there's consciously complete and I notice the patterns, but notice the patterns come first because it's in the consciousness that we can go in and we can shift the patterns of our life, the patterns of our ancestral, generational patterns of our existence and our experiences from any situation. And reevaluating the patterns that we're in allows us to make a conscious decision, an aware decision, whether or not we want to keep those patterns and that they're working with us, or if they are outdated and they're the old stagnant energy that needs to be communicated with, because your old patterns aren't here to keep you in a place of de-evolution. They're actually meant to keep you safe, but not all of our old patterns understand that we've moved on from that experience and we are no longer that experience and we are no longer that version of ourselves. And they just didn't know that they were supposed to grow with us, and they stayed in our past, and they are reliving the past. So when we get into meditation, when you do your self-hypnosis, when you go and sit with Jenny, think about the patterns that you are working with and which ones align with where you want to go or what you want to create, how you want to evolve. And then the patterns that are in the peripheral that are no longer working with you, sit with them, communicate with them, understand their purpose, and renegotiate, shift their story, and let them, for a lot of them, they may be willing to, come on board in a different format, in a different programming that helps you evolve versus, the disinvolvement of self or the staying stuck in who you were. So that is the card when it comes to the collective. And that has been a theme that I've really been seeing, is that the old versions of ourselves that are no longer a part of where we need to go and what we need to create and how we can create, because we're moving into a more awakened space, just need some love. They need some attention. They need some reworking and rewiring and rediscovering, and let them, old patterns can become powerful pieces. They're powerful enough to keep you there, right? Where you were. Yeah. Well, if you think about renegotiating their terms and their conditions and their purpose, they can be equally as powerful to help you move where you need to go and support you the way you need to be supported now versus then. So It's all about letting go of the then and moving into the now. Okay. That's the card. So you want to pull a card?
Yeah, I'm just following my chat here. It says Barb wants a card. So right, the card I picked for Barb, which I think is freaking cool and everyone can use this. I don't know if we can see it. It says God Box. Okay. So it says, write any worries, concerns, or desires on a piece of paper that you put into a special container called a God Box, as a way of letting go and allowing the divine to help you. So it's almost like a prayer box. So you can either put in things that it says that are like no longer serving you, or what you want out of your life, like your goals, your dreams, your desires, and you put them in there and you have the intention that
it's all coming true.
Yes. And I love that. I think I'm going to start that for myself.
I just saw a jar in my head. So anybody, I'm doing the jar. I'm going to get a mason jar. I just saw a mason jar and put them in.
And every time you have, like, in 2023, anytime you have like, this is what I want to do. It's almost like mini manifestations all the time. Like if you have these ideas, okay, I want to do this. I want to do this. And you just put them in this jar. And you'll be probably pretty surprised at the end of the year of how many of those come true.
So Barb, I pulled this, and it says play. So this is and the message that I'm getting about this for you is to allow yourself to celebrate your inner goddess and your inner divine light body. I know that it's time to let those light pieces, that angel of it within you, that light body, shine through play, through the things that bring you joy. And it's focusing on all those things that bring you joy, because that's where your light will naturally and automatically begin to spread out into the world even more. which allows it to come back to you twice as strong. And it is through play and through celebration and through dancing, like just dancing with your partner and just kind of letting yourself receive that energy back, which will help illuminate every part of you. And it's very important. They keep saying it's very important to let your light shine, because you are a beautiful light in this world, and you bring light in everybody's life that gets to be connected to you. So that is the card that my cosmic dancer cards, they're just really loud. All right, so Diane is next. We're gonna both pull.
Yeah,
so
the card that I pulled for you is, you are profoundly clairvoyant. Trust what you see in your mind's eye as well as with your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching, and guidance. So what I'm getting for what to release in 2022 is stop doubting your intuition. Stop doubting yourself. You have this beautiful gift. You are so in tune with yourself and your thoughts and your visions, and you just keep like, nope, that's not true. That's not true. But it is extremely true. And you have to start really building that trust with yourself in the new year. And I feel like you're going to be like helping a lot of people when you do that.
So the card that I pulled for the releasing and letting go is the Be Fluid. So it's time to let go of any of the hesitations and the rigidness you have around who your authentic self is. Ooh. And the exploration of the authentic self. It's about getting to know, allowing the blocks as you get to know the journey coming forward, the part of you that is about to reintegrate and is in integration. So it's about allowing all those hesitations and that restrictions to be dissolved, so that you can be more fluid in your every connection in your own channel. So very much aligned with that. So
sorry, I was reading the comment. Okay, I'm going next. So
okay, wait a minute. We're at
Katie, mine says Katie.
Okay, there we go. I'm missing people. I'm getting better at this, but not that great.
Okay, so mine, Kate, that I got for you is ear chakras. Notice messages that appear as sounds, music, and words from both external sources and within your mind. These messages are real answers to your prayers. So everybody has these gifts and they're just ignoring them. So in 2023, you're going to really trust what you're given. Like, sometimes the messages that we receive might seem like really dumb, to be honest. And you're just like, it's not that easy. And you're like, yes, it is. Like, and what I'm hearing right now is that when I receive messages, I hear my own voice still. Like, it's not like sometimes it's like, sometimes the voices are changed, but for the most part, if I'm channeling like just spirits and guides and not loved ones, I don't really have a difference in the hearing voice, the way it comes through. So I feel like you're just doubting what you're hearing. So just continue to trust that.
I'm going to follow it up with the card of don't be afraid to make mistakes, letting go of the fear of making mistakes, because mistakes are doorways to the bigger adventure. We all have our ups and downs. This progress is a heartbeat. And if you can allow yourself to release that fear that is holding you back and the fear of mistakes, then you will create an opening that will be your opportunity, which will no longer be transmuted as fear, but it will be transmuted into positivity. So this is, I don't know why they're yelling at me, but Katie, I admit that I know you, and I know it's been a while since we've seen each other, but this is a big one that it feels like it's like a roadblock for you. So it's time, girl. It's time to give yourself permission to let go of the roadblocks, the things that no longer align, when you're ready, of course. So we got Lily Flower here.
So what came up for you is workshops and seminars. Attending and giving speeches is part of your spiritual path and purpose. Be open to teaching and learning.
Well,
what?
I just think it's fun. I think it's funny. I've got take the lead.
Yeah. So. Our cards are connected, and
I know.
Lily's flower, Heather, is your actual name, Lily. Like like I'm now seeing like a bouquet of flowers. Like you have this like offering to give to people, and like it even says like you can be a part of learnings, but I feel like you're actually going to be giving them, and there's some fear, and the fact that I can't talk, there's some throat chakra stuff that needs to be worked through, but it's okay to be seen and heard. And I feel like this is going to be a big year for you too, with growth and being able to express yourself and share with people.
So as I'm holding this card, I am not hearing words. I'm getting this really strong sensation, and in the throat as well, but like this nervousness, like all of a sudden, like it's caught and I can't get it out. And I all of a sudden feel really, really uncomfortable and nervous about where I'm about to step forward into. Yeah. And for me, what I heard was release that, dive into what makes you nervous and release that as your stepping stone. That is your speed bump, that emotion, that feeling. And when you begin, like keep seeing, like as you begin the parts that make you nervous and what makes you nervous, when you rewrite the emotions that are tied to your gifts and how they made you feel, those gifts will be able to blossom. So for really I really want to tell you to pay attention to what it is that you're feeling and see where your emotions are guiding you or where they're blocking you. And not emotion. I'm not saying emotions are bad. I'm just saying sometimes our emotions get caught in us. And when we think about moving forward and we think about expressing everything, the things that we want, and connecting and channeling and stepping into our intuitive selves and blossoming that way. And if there's a feeling there, an emotion that creates nervousness for you, discovering and rewriting that emotion will begin to help you blossom and thrive in your gifts. So that's a very strong, that emotion is very strong. So look into perhaps where you sit down and you think about the things that you like, the gifts that you, the intuitive side of you, what makes you nervous about it, and sit with that. So hopefully that sits with you and resonates with you. And here we go.
The next person I have is Stone Bryson.
All right, Stone.
Okay, and I got the same card as Miss Kate's, the ear chakras. Notice messages that appear as sounds, music, and words for both external sources and within your mind. These messages are real answers to your prayers. But I feel like this is a little different. I don't know if you play music or into music or write or anything like that. I feel like something about that and sharing is like a gift that you have that helps people through their grief or whatever they're going through. Like I just keep hearing music and like there's words involved that you're sharing, and being able to openly share that in the new year to help people. Like I feel like you're like a light worker too, but with music, if that makes sense. I don't know if you do music.
Be magnetized. And so what I'm getting is sitting in and really getting into that deep space, removing what prevents you from going into that deep space and expressing through while connected into that deep inner space, and letting that be the tone and frequency and energy of your everyday life. And that is going to be what's going to attract the next step of your evolution and the next step of your success. So success, I feel like it's coming. It's just that next step. So it's reorganizing what you're projecting so that when it comes back to you, it is connected to connected into the frequency, energy, and vibration that you would like to be expressing and emanating in your everyday process. So it's about your process. So that's what I got for you there, Stone. Hopefully that sits there.
I have Purple Princess next, and then I guess we can do Beverly will be the last one.
Yeah.
So Purple Princess, what I got for you is you are a light worker. It's safe for you to be powerful. Your spiritual power brings great blessings and loving service to the divine.
Oh my God, you got the best card, Purple Princess. I've never pulled this card.
You, Purple Princess, are a beautiful light worker. I'm feeling fear and kind of like a block coming up, and just really stepping into your power and knowing that you are here to help raise people around you, and just really step into not feeling like you have to sell yourself, but you're just here and you're serving. And it just like, I feel like my heart just filling with so much love. Like I feel so much heat right now. And it's just like, people just love being around you, and you're just naturally a light worker too. So step into that.
So the, 2 came, so you're getting 2, Purple Princess. So the first one that I pulled was the Sparkle and Shine, and this is the message of where you're what it's what you're like. It's time. That's all I got. It's time. I just want to yell at you. It's time. And then the second card coming here is the Adore the Temple. This is about the transition. Ooh. This is you creating and consistently supporting that space of self-positive connection. And as you bring that self-positive connection, this is the outcome. So like probably should have been reversed, because this is the process, this is the outcome. This is the process, this is the outcome. It is a combination of letting out the pieces of you when you're ready, by celebrating who you are and what you bring to everybody, to the world, because, and to your own experience. There is light, and there's so much light within you. So it's time to celebrate that, and let that your light be the guide that reshapes everything that you are walking into for 2023. So if there's anything preventing you from shining and adoring the temple and adoring the experience, those are the things, in that inner landscape that, if you're ready, they're ready to be shifted. So
love that. Yeah. Stone, you're welcome. Also, yes, writing. There's something really profound about your writing that you need to do. Okay. And the last card here is for Beverly. And I picked Earth Angel. Ooh, that's so pretty. You are a light worker who has come to Earth to teach about love. I feel like you're like an old soul, and everybody comes to you, with all their stuff, and you are just naturally born a light worker. Like everybody just flocks to you. If someone has an issue, oh, let's call Bev. Like she knows everything, and being able to step into that as like feeling really empowered. But I also keep feeling like you need to get really grounded, because sometimes when we don't ground, we can't hold the space for people to give us the energies. And if you go back, and I don't know if you've been here the whole time, but watching this episode back on ways you can clear the energy out, and doing that beautiful little meditation Jen brought us through to like clear out the space for you to be able to hold space for others, and just continue to ground yourself as an Earth Angel, because it doesn't matter where you go, you are stopped and everybody talks to you.
Master the dance. So for me, this card is about allowing yourself the freedom to be who you are in all parts of your life, and to enjoy the essence that you bring and that you emanate. So your presence, and dance within your presence, and that will create opportunities and shifts coming forward. But also for 2020, the blocks, what's releasing what's blocking you from being in harmony with and it's not mastering, but it's being in flow with your own inner presence, and letting that shine through, and letting that emanate into all aspects of you and your life. So that's coming. And this is that's a big one, because there's a lot going on in the solar plex there for you, girl. And it's all about clearing that solar plex and those lower chakras. It feels kind of heavy. So it's about giving permission for that to be released as you sit in your presence, and you celebrate the presence that you are, because what that is profound and big. So thank you. So yeah, there we go, guys. I think we got everybody. So tonight we've been a little over time. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Jenny. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. And Happy New Year, everyone. Hey, we're stepping into 2023. I don't know about you guys, but I don't normally do New Year's resolutions. I just do New Year's opportunities. And I think about the opportunities and what that's going to feel like as I created them for 2023. So that's my little secret for 2023. Jenny, do you have any last thoughts for everybody?
I keep hearing to like do like a little vision board. I know like maybe, I don't know if New Year's resolutions count as but I'm going to be doing that on the 31st, making my vision board, because I love having one and they're so powerful to look at. Like when you're feeling really good, like what do I want for myself, and be really stretchy, like a big.
Yeah, I have a 2 foot by 2 foot whiteboard that I put Post-it notes on. And I'm going to be clearing it, and I'm going to be starting over again. And
yes,
I pick them off one by one, and it's amazing when you start clearing them. You're like, oh my God, I'm inhuman and I'm on my way. And then I add more. So I am the guy who adds more when there's space. But yeah, that's the fun part about this. So Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year's to everybody.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time and space. If you could smash the like button and subscribe so you know when we're on next, that would be amazing. It really helps us get out there in the algorithms and to share more of our light words and light body and, just some fun. So, and love. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful day. Thank you for your time and space. And we will see you. I will see you Monday. We will be back January 2nd for Meditation Monday. Guys, the new year is going to be about really connecting into that cosmic light body and really activating the space for those downloads. And staying with the January class, it's all about cosmic connections into that inner and higher self and the light body code. So if you feel like joining us, if that's an avenue you're interested in, I will be posting up those messages and those links, and we're talking about them on Monday meditation. So, all right, guys, thank you. Much love, and see you soon.
Bye.